Hey guys, welcome to this session by Great Learning. My name is Anirudh Rao and I'll be your instructor for this session on SEO strategies for digital marketing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we go ahead and get started with this session, it's a beautiful Saturday out here in Bengaluru. I welcome you all from wherever it is that you guys are tuning from, right? But then, guys, before we go on to begin with this session, can you all quickly head to the chat box and just type in a little yes? If you can hear me fine, if you can see my screen fine, and of course, if you can see my video fine, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon to all of you all. Just head to the comment section and just put out a message confirming that you can see my screen and you can hear me fine. Now, guys, while you go on to do that, I want to tell you that it's very important that you guys concentrate on the session that we're taking a look at. I want this to be a highly energetic, highly interactive session as always. Now, I'm monitoring all of your comments here using my mobile phone, right? So, any questions that you might have regarding SEO, any question that you might have regarding digital marketing or anything in this domain, right? I want you guys to head to the chat box and just put them down. Any questions which you think that you want answered, right? Now I am a subject matter expert here who's willing to help you with that. Now, guys, before we go on to actually check out today's agenda, I want to take a minute of your time to guide you about this amazing venture we have here at Great Learning called as Great Learning Academy. Now, I'm sure you guys would know Great Learning Academy, but if you don't, do not worry. Right now, Great Learning Academy is a fantastic place where we have 700,000 learners joining in from 140 different countries, and here we get 3 million views on our learning content. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you might ask, okay, so what is it that we are providing with respect to Great Learning Academy, right? Now, Great Learning Academy is a fantastic place if you guys are pretty serious about your career. You guys want to work on a career path, you want to become experts in that particular domain, and having knowledge in that domain itself is very, very important. Now, for example, we have multiple different career paths that you can take as an individual, right? Be it as a data scientist, be it in the field of artificial intelligence, be it in the case of machine learning, cloud computing, marketing. Now, there's so many things that you guys can have a career in, right? Now, since we're talking about digital marketing itself, let me quickly click on the marketing tab here, and then you have a career path specifically meant for that. Right now, you guys have to enter out your email ID here. You guys have to either sign up. It's a very simple process, guys. You can sign up using Google. You can log into your accounts respectively. Once you go on to do that, you will see all the details that are necessary. You will be given with a beautiful career path. You'll be given with free courses that will get you started with the domain before you guys work on towards the specializations. Now, all these free courses that I just spoke about, right? We have 200 plus courses on the channel. All of these are completely free for you all. You can sign up for free. You can get started with this for free, and at the end of the day, you'll get a certificate of completion absolutely free of cost, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if I click on digital marketing here, we have we have courses in 3 levels. We have beginner courses, intermediate courses, and advanced courses. If I click on digital marketing here, the introduction to digital marketing program, you will see that we have almost 1 lakh learners on this particular course. It's a highly rated course. There's a lot of skills that are covered. You can see all the course agenda, the items that you're going to learn, and at the end of it, you're going to be given a certificate of completion which looks like this, right? Now, guys, since this is a certificate of completion, you have to know that it adds an immense amount of value to your resume, to your CVs, to your LinkedIn profile, whatever it is, right? Having the knowledge plus having a certificate of completion, again, absolutely free of cost. You can see this. You can enroll into this for free. Right now, there are a lot of comments, a lot of discussion about all of these courses and programs. As you can see, there's multiple different programs that I highly suggest you guys check out. Now, if you have people tuning in who are looking for other career paths as well, ladies and gentlemen, we have multiple career paths that you guys can take in the field of data science, AI, machine learning, cloud computing, and a lot more, right? Perfect, guys. I hope all of you all are signed up on Great Learning Academy. It is a fantastic place for you guys to be. Okay, now before we go ahead with the session, guys, do take a second to subscribe to the Great Learning YouTube channel. And of course, make sure you guys like the video, because if you're liking this video, if you're keeping it very interactive, we will know at the end of the day that you guys are looking for more content on this, right? Now, as always, ladies and gentlemen, we can get started with this session. Let us get a look at what it is that we're going to cover in today's agenda, right? Now, this is going to be a 1 hour session where we are covering very, very important stuff in the terms of digital marketing and SEO. So it always adds value to understand the concept itself, right? Now, some of you all who are tuning in may or may not know what SEO is, right? So guys, if you know SEO, if you know what it means in depth, head to the comment section and just put in a quick yes. If you do not, right, absolutely no worries. I'm going to be guiding you, keeping all the beginners in the perspective here. So we're going to check out what SEO is to get an understanding of what it is we're going to check out. After which, once you understand what it is, I'll promise you guys that you'll be very much interested to understand, okay, so why is it required? Once you understand the why part, you'll be fascinated enough to know, okay, so this seems very, very interesting. It can be something that you might not known before. So how does it eventually work is the question that's going to come to your mind. So in that order, I'm going to answer your question to satisfy your curiosity in detail, and of course give you a good amount of knowledge at the same time. And when you take a look at it, the fourth point is the highlight of today's session, ladies and gentlemen. There are so many strategies. Now, when we talk about strategies right now, you may or may not get complete clarity. That is the reason we need the first 3 items on the agenda to get to a point where you understand SEO first, and then we're going to talk about some fantastic strategies, right guys? Perfect. Strap in, no issues if you do not know what SEO is, because that is exactly what we're going to cover. But then before we go on to cover SEO in detail, here are some really interesting facts that I think you guys should know about digital marketing, right? Now, ladies and gentlemen, you have been in this position, I can promise you that. Whenever you have to purchase something online, what it is that you do, right? Because in my case, the first thing I always remember doing is always I had to Google and I type something. If I want some shoes, maybe Nike running shoes or something, I just go to Google and I do a quick search. Of course, that will show me all the e-commerce sites like Nike's website, Amazon, Flipkart, whatever it is. Again, it depends on which country you're tuning in from as well, right? But then, for all the purchases that happen online, billions and billions of dollars, all of this, how all of this starts? Every 9 out of 10 items that is ever sold online starts with a Google search. That is how powerful a simple Google search is. This is one aspect of digital marketing, right? Now, the second aspect of digital marketing that you guys should be very much interested in is social media. Now, I assure you that you guys might have used social media in one way or another, right? Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. I don't know the latest and the greatest, social media out there, but I'm sure these are the common names that gets thrown around, right? So, in a world where there are 7 billion people, half of this entire world is on social media right now. That is how big of a marketplace social media has become. Now, every time you're on Facebook, Instagram or something, you see something called as ads or advertisements, right? That's people marketing their product out to you there. So if you are marketing something for 4.5 or 3.5 billion people, that is the biggest marketplace you can get anywhere in the world right now, guys. This is a very important point. If you guys are very serious about digital marketing, you should know this. Bigger the marketplace, it means more people are interested. If more people are interested in your product, means you will sell better. If you sell millions of products, there's a good chance you're going to end up being a billionaire, right? So perfect. Another thing, when you look at the company's perspective, right? When companies themselves want to start using digital marketing, when you ask experts, and there have been many surveys conducted in this regard, 9 out of 10 companies say that when they started digital marketing, they thought it might not add a lot of value, but then they saw that it helped them immensely. It helped them really shine, and in fact, it made them a lot more money, and rather than what they were investing. They were investing a tiny amount into digital marketing, but the returns that they got out of digital marketing, right, it was huge. That's why if you guys, for all of you all who are tuned into this session, I am sure you guys are interested in digital marketing, right? Now, you should understand that with this particular point, right, the last point especially, you have to understand one very important thing here is that companies are hiring thousands and thousands of people for digital marketing today. It will not be a designation which says digital marketing expert directly. It might be a content creator, it might be an SEO specialist, it might be an SEM specialist, it might be someone to optimize web pages, it might be someone to take a look at website loading time, technical SEO, non-technical SEO. There's digital marketing is like a really big umbrella which you can probably divide into 10 or 20 different job roles, and each of those job roles will have thousands of job openings which you can apply for. This is the biggest advantage, and right now more than ever, guys, with COVID-19, again, I hope all of you guys are staying safe, right? Make sure you guys are wearing your masks. I hope that you'd realize that digital marketing now is so much more required by the world, and companies know this. You probably would have started seeing a lot of ads on your social media, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. You would have seen that there is slightly people advertising a lot more on digital platforms today. Am I correct, guys? Because you would have seen this, I'm sure. Why do you think that's the case, right? Everyone is either sitting at home, working from home, studying from home. So home has become the new workplace, or home has become the new college space right now. So to make sure the content is directly delivered to the home, everyone wants to market, everyone wants to show you their latest and greatest products and services, right? That is very, very interesting, because again, you need to have a person who will do that. To have a person there, it creates a job, and you guys as digital marketing enthusiasts can be one of those people who can actually get that job, and at the end of the day, this is a domain which will pay you really, really well, and I think it's a domain which is extremely fun to work in, because you're providing people with what they want. Right now you're catering to a demand that exists. That's a very important thing. Hey, but then there's a case where the demand might not exist, but you are creating a demand as well. That's another side of digital marketing we're going to talk in another session. But then coming back to check out why digital marketing in this particular moment, in this particular era, ladies and gentlemen, there is no other way that you can get and build brand awareness. Right now, there's a good chance that you might have never seen a brand as a store. You might have not walked into a store and seen the brand, but then when you see it online, there's so many, it's extremely popular, right? I mean, I've heard my friends tell me that this is usually the case with clothing stores. Sometimes there are no shops, there's no physical shops that you can walk in and buy, but then their online presence is absolutely amazing. Right now, for all you people who are interested in buying clothes or something like that, you will know this right now. Hey, for all the people who are interested in mobile phones as well, there was a time when this company called OnePlus, they were only selling it online. They had no shop presence. Now I think they're spread pretty well across India, but then they started out with digital marketing as well, right? So you will realize that with this you can connect to more people really quickly. Your outreach, your way of connecting and talking to your audience, getting their feedback is absolutely it'll help you grow your product immensely. Now, whenever you talk about growth, I think the most important thing that helps a brand grow is the feedback that they get, right? Now, if you guys use Twitter, ladies and gentlemen, Twitter is a fantastic social media. I use Twitter. Now, if you guys use Twitter, if any new company is usually getting popular, they trend on Twitter, and when they trend on Twitter, they're selling a product. Hundreds of thousands of people will go there and give their opinions about the product. Now, if a new mobile phone company just came out, they can, the customers will go on Twitter and say, hey, I bought this mobile phone, I either like it, I hate it, it's good, it's bad. They give their opinion. Now that opinion is used by the company to develop the product, right? Now, if there's a mobile phone with a really bad camera, and of course I think cameras are really important in mobile phones today, you would go on to social media and tell people, hey, don't buy this phone, the camera is bad. So the company will see that, they realize, okay, so we need to improve our camera. That is what the people are asking for, so let's improve the camera and let's increase the sales, right? You already know this, but then There are a million reasons that I can give you about why digital marketing is extremely important today. But then let's move ahead to understand, a very, very, very important part of today's session, which is SEO. Now, guys, when we talk about what SEO is, does anyone here in the comment section know the full form of SEO? If you do not, absolutely no worries. SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. Now, what is search engine optimization, right? See, the first two words you will know the meaning of it. Search engine. Now, what's a search engine? Google is a search engine. You go there to search something, right? It's simple. But us going on Google and searching for something is extremely simple. But do you know how Google works on the back end to bring you those results? Right? So that is a very interesting thing that you guys may or may not know. Now, I've written something there called prerequisites SERP. So to understand SEO or search engine optimization, you guys require the knowledge of SERP or SERP as it's called. It stands for Search Engine Results Page. Now, whenever you search for something on Google, right, how do you know how things are put out there? For example, let me actually go to Google right now and let me type buy Nike shoes. Right, so as soon as I type Nike, it doesn't have to be Nike, ladies and gentlemen. It can be whatever you want. Now there is an order here that things are coming up. Right now, let me just scroll back. There is 9 or 10 pages that the results are. So there are so many websites that has to come up. But what is the order that things come up? So when I say buy Nike shoes, Nike websites comes first. Then a website called Agio. You have Tata Click, Flipkart. You'll probably have these are all the local shops near me. You have Amazon, you have Shop Clue, Supercake. So you have these shops, but then they are in an order. This is not what you see in random. If I refresh this, there's a good chance the order is going to remain the same, right? So what defines this order? Why is Nike coming here in the first place? Why is Agio coming in the second place? Why is Tata coming in the third place, right? Now, when you take a look at all of these things, this is what makes up what SEO is. There is a way that Google will show you these results. It will order it based on a lot of different factors. So when you look at something even in the technical field, anything you search on Google has an order. But then let's be very serious here, right? Are you guys who search on Google, do you go to like 8th page, 9th page or 10th page and do you buy something from there? I think it's a rare thing right now. I myself have been Googling for God knows how many years now. The maximum I've gone is page number 2, because after page number 2, I don't think it adds value to what I'm searching, right? But then page number 1 is the most important thing. So what if you have content that is sitting on page number 3? It means people are not reaching it. You want to bring it up to page number 1 on Google search, right? So that everyone sees it. Whoever searches for it sees it. So this way of making it up the order is everything that talks about search engine optimization. Optimizing your website, creating better content, making sure that you're providing exactly what people want, your brand popularity, your brand awareness, all of this combined will make sure that Google will want to show your website to a lot of people. Now let's say that there's a website who's probably scamming people, cheating people, taking their money and not giving their products. Do you think Google will want to show their company on page number 1, or in fact do you think they'll ever want to show them on Google? Because it's misleading company, because it's misleading people, right? So when you find these sort of companies who are unethical, there's usually good chance that Google will start delisting them. So whenever you search something, you cannot find them on Google. The only way you'll have to reach these scammy websites, I think, is to actually type in the website name, and then you're going to be reaching that, right? So knowing that this order exists is everything that search engine optimization is about. So to give you a little bit more clarity, I think now you would have understood why we require SEO, right? First of all, as I told you, you have to rank better on SERP, the search engine results page, right? So what usually happens is, again, if you're on page number 3, 4, people will not come there. You will not make a sale if you're a company who's selling shoes. But then, if you think about it, if you're on page number 1, on those first 2-3 spots, there's a good chance that your brand awareness, your brand exposure is like huge, right? Everyone who searches for those shoes or whatever it is, anything that you want to search for. I just showed you an example of running shoes. That's all, right? So when you search that, people will click on it. Either they're buying it or not is the second thing, but then they're coming onto your website. You're bringing in traffic to your website, right? That's the most important thing that people are concerned with. Look at the third point here, guys. I've written something called difference between reachability and non-existence. Now, what do I mean by this? As I told you, if you're on page number 5, you might be providing the best running shoes the entire world has ever seen. But if you're on page number 5, there's a good chance people will not even go till there to see. So it is as good as your brand or your product being non-existent. If you have created the best product, it means that you have to bring it to the customer. If the customers are not even seeing that you exist, well, you're not marketing yourself good enough, right? So this happens for many companies. They will be providing you an amazing product. They just lack reachability in a way that they just become almost non-existent, and the guys whoever are in that domain will just be happy because they are ranking higher on Google. I've seen this myself. I don't want to take up names, but of course it's a very important thing to make or break your business. The fourth thing at the end of the day is something that you figured out by now, right? You will be catering to a very large audience if you're ranking on page number 1. So what are the things that you have to do to bring up your ranking is, again, we have covered all of these points to a good amount of detail in the SEO sessions that we have here on the Great Learning YouTube channel. I hope, ladies and gentlemen, that all of you all are subscribed to the Great Learning YouTube channel, right? If you have subscribed, just go to the comment section, just put in a quick yes. If you haven't, there's no issues, guys. Make sure you're subscribing, because see, whenever we put out these sessions like this, I think it is important that you as an audience should be the first ones to see it, right? So when you subscribe, and there should be a bell icon next to it. Once you click that bell, you will be given a small notification that says, hey, Great Learning just put out this video, and it will tell you that you should you could watch it. Now it's sometimes we put out extremely important videos that are time sensitive as well, right? Now, for example, there's a lot of things that we're going to be discussing in the year 2021 specifically that you should know as soon as possible. So there, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to add a lot of value. So make sure you guys are subscribing to the Great Learning YouTube channel, right? Again, okay, so to pick up questions, guys, I don't see a lot of questions. I think you guys definitely should put down a lot of questions in the comment section, right? So I have one question from Karthik Sharma. He says, why we should SEO for website? Karthik, so I think I would have answered your question by all this discussion for the last 15 minutes, right? So unless you don't want your brand to be seen, unless you don't want, your product to be seen, well, you wouldn't want to do it anymore. If you have a website and you want people to come onto that website, and I'm not saying that they have to buy something as soon as they come on your website. To bring them to your website is the goal, first step, right? To do that, of course, if you're not even on the Google's first page, people will not come because they don't know that you're there. Not everyone will click on page number 2, page number 3. I think the number is somewhere around 80 or 90% of people who search something on Google will not go beyond page number 3. So you've just lost 90% of your audience. So even if you get 10% of the audience, I don't think it's going to make a huge difference, right? So it's very, very important that you guys understand SEO. But then actually working on an SEO, right? The first point, I think we have cleared it up, how Google search works, right? So when you click on search for something, for example, I search for Nike running shoes. So Google knows this. Hey, so if someone ever types in a keyword that says Nike running shoes, please show the content in this particular order. Why it has to show them in that particular order is because of the popularity. So whenever someone searches for Nike, I think the first thing they'll do is check Nike's website, right? I'm just taking the example of Nike. It can be anyone in the world. So the first thing they'll do is click on that. So Google knows this. Hey, so if someone searches for this keyword, they will want to go there. So why don't I show it first and make it convenient and easy for them to click? That is how a Google search works. But then if you're trying to think about everything else as well, there's something called as crawlers. This is a very technical concept. Crawlers are something that a search engine uses to go through your website. Think of it like a little spider, right? So this spider goes around your website, inside your website. It'll gather certain details about what it is that you're trying to do, and it'll go back to Google. The spider is going to sit there and say, okay, so this website is giving all of these things. I think they're doing things right, so why should we not show them higher up in the ranking, right? So that's a crawler. We're going to discuss about crawler in detail in another session, but for now, in a simple term, this is how it works, right? Now, look at the second second question, right, ladies and gentlemen? The second question says, do you have to pay Google to show your content there? Now, this is a very important thing, right? I guess I get this question a lot. Like, whenever you're searching something on Google, right, do you have to pay? I want to say yes and no to that answer. Yes, because there is a concept called as SEM, which is search engine marketing. In search engine marketing, you will actually have to pay Google to show your website on the top, on the first, as an advertisement whenever people search for something. But then, since we're talking about SEO, the concept here is to actually do things in an organic way or in a free way. So if you are doing things correctly with your product, with your brand, with your website, and you really don't have to pay Google. So right now, Nike is not paying Google to show them on that first spot. There's a good chance they're not doing that, because Google knows when someone clicks or when searches for that, they want to come to Nike. So without being paid also, they want to show it, because they want to make sure Google shows relevant search results, right? So the answer to that is yes and no. If you want your content on Google to rank for free, you're going to be using SEO to get organic search. The keyword is organic. If you want Google to, if you want to pay Google to say, hey, I'm going to give you a little money, why don't you show it every time the people search for this? In that case, that is called as search engine marketing as well, right? Now, the third question, I think we've already answered it. How does Google figure out the order in which things have to be shown? You guys already know that by now. Okay, so Utkarsh Gupta has a question. What are we doing in this? Costing and all, and which language for coding? Well, Utkarsh, welcome to this session. I hope you're having a really nice Saturday. In terms of coding, I think in digital marketing you require zero coding, right? So for all the people like Utkarsh who might be curious about checking out if you require programming in SEO in digital marketing, my answer to that is absolutely no. So if you guys don't like programming, I think you'll be extremely happy here, because there is no use. Of course you can use programming if you want to, but at the end of the day, majority of how these tools work, you will not require programming, right? That's the fun part, I think, for all the people who don't like programming to get into digital marketing. Perfect. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the most important aspect of the session, where we are going to check out top SEO strategies. But then guys, before we go ahead and do that, I want a quick gulp of water. So while I drink the water, I want you all to confirm, head to the chat box, just give me a quick confirmation to tell me if you guys have understood everything that we have covered until now, right? Just put a quick yes in the comment section if you're clear with all the concepts that you have covered, because it's very, very important. There are so many ways that you can use to bring your website up, and that is exactly what we're going to discuss in this next section, right? Perfect. Guys, stay hydrated. It's an important thing. I don't know where you guys are tuning in from, but here in Bengaluru it is getting pretty hot and summer is here, right? Perfect. Okay, so Manish has a question. Can I learn SEO from this lecture? Well, Manish, good afternoon. Thank you for tuning into this session. I hope you're learning a lot with this. Yes, you can get a good understanding of what SEO is. You just missed the first 20-25 minutes of this lecture where we spoke about SEO. So this video is going to remain on the Great Learning YouTube channel. So please rewatch the first 20 or 25 minutes later, so that you get complete understanding of why we are discussing these strategies. Now, for all the people who are saying yes and clear, thank you so much, guys. So this next step I want all of you guys to note down, because later if you're applying for a digital marketing job, there is a very good chance that people are gonna ask, say, okay, so if you are doing SEO, what are your top strategies to help my brand grow or to help my business grow? This is the question the interviewer will ask you. Now in that case, you cannot just give random answers and say, hey, I will do this, I will do that, I'll put it on Instagram, I'll put it on Facebook, it'll work. No, you need to have a structured answer when you are asked for strategies, right? So that is exactly what we are going to check out, right? Perfect, guys. So the first strategy that I want to talk about is something called keyword analysis. Now, keywords are really important in Google, right? Now, what I searched there, Nike running shoes, that is actually a keyword, right? So whenever the companies will think about it like this, hey, so whenever there is a customer who is going to Google and they're searching for Nike running shoes, someone at Agio would have thought about this, or someone at Flipkart. They'd be like, okay, so I think we should be there to make sure that people come to our website and buy running shoes from us, right? So with keyword analysis, what the company is doing is they're trying to find out, first of all, what the customers are searching for. The second thing that they will think about is, okay, so for what keywords, if people search for running shoes, do I show them that, hey, here's a mobile phone, please buy a mobile phone that will help you run? Right? It does not make sense. If someone wants to buy shoes, you show them shoes. If someone wants to buy Nike running all-weather waterproof men's running shoes, you show them exactly that. If someone is looking for a waterproof shoe, you don't show them a formal shoe probably that you would wear for a wedding or a reception or something like that, right? It will not make sense. People will not click on it. So what's the point? So researching what it is that you're selling and understanding what people search for is an important first strategy, right? Now to do this, so you will have a question saying, okay, so how do I do it? There are many keyword planning tools, and one of these tools extremely popular. It's called SEMrush or SEMrush. So there you will sit and you will in depth, you can see how many people are searching for this keyword, right? Now if I go to Google and type Nike, it's still going to show their shoe website. If I type Nike shoes, it'll still show Nike's website. If I type all weather Nike men's running shoe red color, it will still show Nike's website, right? So they know that no matter what people are searching for, relevant stuff we need to show. That's where it's called as a short tail keyword and a long tail keyword. Nike shoes, if I search, it's a short tail keyword. Nike running shoes for men red color, that's a long tail keyword, right? So it is lengthy that I'm searching for. So both of these have a different kind of a approach that companies would take, but then they will not ask you all of this in detail in an interview or anything. But then for now, it is important that you guys understand that there are ways that you can find out what people are searching for, and there are ways of how you can exactly cater to what it is that is required. So you make a sale, right? Now you don't go into a hotel or you don't go into your favorite restaurant and buy a pizza. You order a pizza, but you receive a burger. Will you be happy? Absolutely not, right? I mean, there's a good chance you guys will be angry as well because you wanted to eat a yummy pizza and now I feel like eating pizza, right? So that's the thing. So what you get is exactly what you should be, what your customers are asking is exactly what you should be, what the companies should be putting out there. So guys, this is strategy number 1. I hope strategy number 1 was clear to all. Now, the second strategy is SERP analysis. SERP stands for Search Engine Results Page, right? So you have to analyze how these companies are being listed, right? Now, let me show you an example for strategy 2 actually. Instead of Nike shoes, I'll just type in running shoes, right? Now, I love running. I just came back today morning from a run. So see, now as soon as I go on to click running shoes, there are other companies who are popular as well. See, there's Puma near me, there's a Nike near me, there's an Adidas near me. So these are all sports shoes, running shoes, and all of that. And Amazon has given me an entire section says, hey, click on this if you want to see all the running shoes that exist in the world, right? Now, there's news also. There's news about what's going on in the world of running shoes. Agio was the second one for the last keyword, but if you remember, but if you see right now, they are pretty down, right? So I think in popularity, when people are buying running shoes, they usually might go to Myntra or Flipkart to buy it. Now, it is not always the case that yes, people are going to Myntra and that's why it's showing first. It's just that Myntra is providing a better service maybe when people search for running shoes, shoes, right? Now if I type in running shoes for men, as I told you, right, red color. Now I'm being very specific. I'm saying I want a shoes which is red color, right? Now again Myntra is trending here. You can see that it is showing me pictures directly of saying, hey, here's your running shoe, and there is nice ones in red color, right? Oh look, there's a Puma shoes for Virat Kohli's name. For all of you guys who do not know, I think you should check out the Great Learnings banner. I think you'll be very pleased to see Virat Kohli there, right? Perfect, guys. Now let me come back to the strategy. So this is exactly what we're trying to do with the second strategy. We are trying to understand what it is that you have to put inside your website to make sure that Google will bring your website first. Now Myntra are doing something amazing there. That is the reason, that is why they're being shown first, right? But then there is an important aspect here. Google has many algorithms that they use to make sure that, you know, Google is intelligent. It is extremely intelligent. It will know what content that you have to see. There is no person behind sitting and saying, okay, if someone searches Nike, please put Nike's website. That's not a human that is doing it. It's a very intelligent algorithm that is doing it, right? Now in that case, for the people who are putting it, for the developers at maybe Myntra, they know how the Google algorithms work. It's a very difficult thing. There are so many complexities there, or else everyone will start coming on the first page, right? So they are trying to do something which the algorithms absolutely like. So the algorithms say, okay, we like your content, let us just put you on the first page, let us put you on the first spot, in fact, right? So this is strategy number 2, knowing that even on search results you can perform in-depth analysis and you can find out why exactly the content is ranking, right? So when we say ranking, it means the order 1, 2, 3 on the search page, right? So you can find out exactly why things are ranking. But then in an interview, if you did not know this, well, what would you answer, right? So if I say, why is Nike coming on the first page if someone searches for Nike, if you do not know digital marketing, you'll probably say that, hey, of course it's Nike, they'll be the first ones to come on the page, right? No, that's not the right answer. But then now you have a correct answer to give, right? You know about SEO analysis, you know about search engine results based analysis, you know about Google algorithm, you know that there are things that you have to put in a website to make it rank on Google. Which do you think is a better answer for an interview, right? That's the goal here, guys. Perfect. I think it's time to check out strategy number 3. With strategy number 3, this is a very important thing, to create original content, right? Now, if everyone in the world are doing the exact same thing, do you think that Google will like to see that? People will not like to see that, right? So for your brand to become really popular, you have to do things in a very unique way which connects to the audience, right? Now, if we are looking at the automobile industry, I think you will see that every car looks pretty different from the other, right? Now maybe a brand like Maruti Suzuki looks like, have their cars designed in a way that as soon as you look at it, even if there's not a badge, you can guess that that's a Suzuki car. Maybe look at Skoda, maybe look at Volkswagen, right? So when you're looking at these companies, even if they don't have a badge, you know that as soon as you look at it, hey, that's a Volkswagen, right? So how do you know this? Because you know that that brand is doing something unique. Even in an online space, this is exactly how things work as well. So here, unless people do something creative, unless it's original, it will not work, right? Now if two car manufacturers are just copying directly each other, both of them, there's a good chance both will not sell, because people will not want to buy something because they realize it's just that someone's copying something, right? Now if you were buying a mobile phone, would you buy an original one or would you buy a duplicate one which was copied from the original one? Which would you buy? The original one, I assume, right? Exactly my point here. So whatever the details that you're putting on your website, whatever pictures you're clicking, whatever text that you see on a website, unless it is original, Google will realize this. Google will search billions of pages by the time I do this, right? By the time I did that, it would have searched a billion pages and says, hey, this guy has copied it from somewhere else, it's plagiarized, let us not show this content on our page 1, right? Google knows this. So third strategy for all of you all is to make sure you understand that whenever you're putting something out there for the world to see, it has to be original, right? So that's an important thing. Strategy number 4 is also equally important. In strategy number 4, we're talking about quality over quantity, right? So wherever you put something out there, the quality of traffic is important. Now, of course, as soon as I search Nike shoes, there are so many companies, so many websites that came up. There's a good chance that millions of people will go to that website, but how many people will actually buy the shoes? That is the quality of the traffic that you're getting, right? It doesn't mean that if I have 1 lakh people coming onto my website, that 1 lakh people will buy everything, right? Not possible. Or they don't want to buy, they're window shopping online. That's the concept now, right? So what you should be looking out as an SEO expert is to look at the quality of people who are clicking on your website rather than quantity. Now, there was a time when you can be an SEO expert and say, hey, I have 2 lakh people clicking on my website, I am a happy man. It would have worked. But now they ask, okay, so if 2 lakh people are clicking on your website, how many people are purchasing the product that you're showing there? You guys are getting this point, right? It's a very, very important point. So the quality of traffic will show you that you either make a sale or not. So you as a person, if you're window shopping, you'll go there, you'll take a look at it, you'll be like, meh, I don't want this, and you'll come out. But if someone is genuinely looking for running shoes, they'll go there, they'll put in all their bank details, they'll purchase it, they'll be happy because they went to the website to buy it. That's the quality of traffic that you guys have to think about. But then, does this mean that the quantity is useless? No. Quantity is very much important because it helps your brand grow. Now, even if someone came to Nike's shop to actually, of course, the website, to window shop, there's a good chance that they'll go to someone else, or when someone asks saying, okay, so which shoes did I buy? This person will say, hey, I was on Google, I just checked out, the running shoes. I think you should check out Nike. Nike seems to be a good brand. So when you make a recommendation like this, what are you doing? You're marketing for Nike, but then you are not working for Nike, you're marketing Nike. How does this happen, right? So people know how this works in the world of digital marketing. They know that people talk about your brand, and them talking about your brand itself is marketing. Now, if someone talks about some other brand and says, don't buy that shoes keeps tearing, or it does not last, or it's just expensive, it is useless, or something like that, that is also marketing, right? So people will want to check that website to understand why it's not popular or why it's bad. So they'll be like, okay, so if it's bad, now let me go to their website and see why it is bad. That curiosity will also bring them to the website, right? Now at the end of the day, even if you have a bad product, if you're marketing it correctly, people will click on your website, guys. Now this is an interesting thing, right? So I hope all of you all are finding this really interesting. So there's a good chance that you might not know this, but now that you're seeing the other side of things, right? So I think it should be fun for all you guys, right? Superb, guys. Strategy number 5. Strategy number 5 is a fantastic strategy. Now here, I think this is a very, very important thing. It is funny if you do this wrong. Now, let's say I am a person who has opened a car repair shop here in South Bengaluru. I stay in South Bengaluru, right? If I've opened a car repair shop in South Bengaluru, who should I market it to bring the cars over? There's a good chance that maximum I can market it to everyone in Bengaluru, or everyone probably in Karnataka or something, right? Now, if I am showing advertisements for the people sitting in Chandigarh or Delhi saying, hey, I have a car repair shop in Bangalore, please bring your cars, do you think it will make sense? It will not, right? If I'm sitting and selling actual vegetables here offline, but then I'm putting it on my website saying I'm selling vegetables, come buy. Do you really think people sitting in Chandigarh, people sitting in Delhi will come all the way to Bangalore to buy vegetable and go back? It sounds funny, right? That is where a local SEO, the concept of local SEO talks about. So local SEO is all about you targeting all your nearby customers first. If you are a person who has a car repair shop, a grocery shop, a supermarket or anything, you want to market it to the people near you so that they come to your shop, right? Now, if you, as I told you, if you do it somewhere else, people will not come. They'll be like, good for you that you have a shop in Bengaluru, but I am sitting in Delhi, I won't come, right? Simple. Why would they want to fly to Delhi to buy a packet of Maza or Rasna or something like that from you? It makes sense. It's funny really, but then if people get local SEO wrong, it will hurt their business a lot, because they will be spending money on marketing, but they are not marketing to the correct audience. So it's as good as don't market it. That's better, right? So I hope you guys are understanding all of these concepts that we're discussing about, right guys? If you're following along, if you understood all these strategies, quickly head to the comment section, just put a quick yes. Now once you put down a yes, I will understand that you guys figured things out. And this is a really fun concept. If you do SEO, local SEO correctly, it will be amazing. If you look at it, especially now or New Year's time, right? All the gyms that open, they'll usually send a flyer to your home saying New Year offer 50% discount. But if the gym was very, very far away from your house, if you're 30-40 kilometers away from the gym, do you think that you will receive a flyer or a little paper that says come join the gym? I don't think so, right? The same concept that I just gave you an offline example for is also happening online, and that term now you guys understand, it's called local SEO, right? Perfect, guys. Talking about strategy number 6. Strategy number 6 is extremely important. Now guys, how many of you all are watching this from your mobile phone? How many of you all are watching this mobile session from your mobile phones? Because I'll tell you why. When people search for something, 7 out of 10 people will do something on their mobile phone, because mobiles are very convenient today, right? You can do whatever you want. You can run a company, you can work with your bank, you can send money, you can receive money. I don't think people will physically step into the bank these days to actually do a transaction, right? There's UPI, there's a million things that you can do on your phone itself, right? You can sit in any corner of the world and do a transaction, do whatever you want, but you can do it on your mobile phone comfortably and happily. Some people will say, my mobile screen is small. True, I understand, but that's the reason our fonts are this big, right? So all of you all who are watching on your mobiles can see it better now. Even this is an SEO strategy. Okay guys, I'm just kidding, but then yes, this is something that we already thought of as well. So we have people watching in through your mobile phones. That's the reason the fonts are really big. So when you join us in using your mobile phones, you will see really big fonts so that you can look at your phone and you can understand, right? But then coming back to SEO, see, in the world of SEO, you have to understand that people will search on their mobile phone. So it is not like the entire world has one mobile phone, right? Everyone has different mobile phones, different screen sizes, different resolutions and all of that. So every time you put out a website, you have to make sure that your website is clearly suiting these mobile phones, right? Not everyone has one mobile phone, as I told you. So if you're just optimizing it for that one mobile, when someone sees it on a different screen resolution or a bigger mobile or a smaller mobile, things will look different. There's a good chance it'll look really ugly because the website was not optimized for that mobile phone. So strategy number 6 is a very, very, very important strategy that you guys have to understand. Whenever a website is being created, they have to think about the people who will log in and tune in from their mobile phones as well, right? Perfect, guys. Coming to strategy number 7. Now strategy number 7 is really interesting. I'll tell you why. With strategy number 7, you have to understand that Google is not the world's only search engine, right? Before Google, when I was young, the first thing that always was very popular was Yahoo. Yahoo was like superb. You could get everything: sports, news, stocks and trade information. When I was a kid, I didn't know all of that, but you had information there, right guys? Do you remember it? When we were younger, there was Yahoo, which is very popular. And usually whenever you buy your first laptop or computer or something which has Microsoft Windows installed, the first search engine that it will take you to is not Google, it is Bing, because Bing is owned by the people of Microsoft. So whenever you're optimizing some content, you also have to understand that there are people who still use Yahoo, who use Bing. So you have to work with those algorithms, those websites, so that if people are not searching on Google, but if people are searching on Yahoo, it still means that they see your content, right? Why should you only care? Of course, I agree to your point. You will say something such as, hey, you know what, I will only use Google, I have never used Yahoo or Bing. Good, there's a good chance even I do it, right? Maybe 1 out of 20-25 times I go to these other search websites, but then even I use Google, I understand. But 1 out of 25 times I go to other websites and I've made purchases as well, right? Now, like me, there are millions of people around the world. So what if those millions of people are going to other websites and buying your product? It means you have to optimize for that also, right? There also you have customers. If you are not caring about them, you're losing customers, right? You don't want to lose customers. that is strategy number 7. Okay, Insane Beast says, I connect my mobile to smart TV. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, I think the concept is called as casting or something, right? You just have to click 2 buttons and your YouTube application will open on your TV. And okay, that's really nice, Insane Beast. I hope you're having fun seeing all of our content on a really big screen. Sometimes when we rewatch our own content, I usually find myself watching it on a big screen because it's just nice. You get to sit, relax, understand, and you get to look everything at a big screen. It's easier to read. You can follow through as well, right? So Insane Beast, I hope with you watching on your TV comfortably that you're able to understand everything that we are covering here. Right, guys. So talk about strategy 8 now. Strategy 8, you have to understand the customer itself, right? Why is the person looking for this particular item? So whenever someone searches for a new mobile phone, why do you think they're searching for a new mobile phone? Either they want to upgrade, or that their old phone got broken, someone stole their phone, anything. There could be 10-15 reasons, but there are reasons why. So no one will just do anything randomly, right? Probably the most random thing that I have seen people do is they'll just go online and they'll be like, what is the price of Bugatti, what is the price of Ferrari or something. Now there's a good chance that you may not be able to afford Ferrari. Now if you guys can afford a Ferrari, amazing. I definitely one day I'll try to get one, but not today for sure, right? But you have to understand why are people searching for it. Even though at this moment I cannot afford a Ferrari or something, I know the brand exists. I know what cars they're selling. How? Why? It's because my interest is in that brand, right? I want to find out what people are doing there, right? So this is a very important thing. You have to understand why the customer is doing what he or she is doing. Ferrari are not losing anything if I don't buy a car or if you don't buy a car or something like that, right? But then knowing that the brand exists itself is marketing on its own. So you have to understand customer behavior. Now I'll give you a fantastic example. I think this example again is in the automotive industry. If you've ever gone on to these fancy car maker websites, Mercedes, BMW, Lamborghini or anything, there is usually a part of their website which says customize your car. Even though you have not bought a car, you can virtually change all the wheels. It's just like these NFS games that we used to play as a kid, but you can do it on their actual websites to an actual car that is showing on the website, right? You can put the color red, you can change the interior from leather to something organic. You can do whatever you want. So you feel connected to the brand. So even I think with respect to these companies, the new companies, car companies, right? I'm not a car guy. I think the newest ones in India are MG and Kia or something like that, right? These guys. Even on their websites, you can customize something and see how it will be if you buy that car. Now, the intention there is to make sure you feel comfortable with their brand, that you come buy their car, right? That's marketing in the most fantastic way that you guys can think of. I think you would have seen all of this right now. Even if you haven't, understand that it's a very tricky thing. And if you're thinking about it, okay, so if I go to Lamborghini website and if I just put in colors, will I buy a Lamborghini? The answer might be no, but then even there's a reason why all the companies have started doing it, because in the other cases, yes, if you go on to look at it and you'll be like, okay, wow, that's a beautiful car. Let me call them to ask what the best price I can get or something, right? You did one step more. So once you talk to their salespeople, you will get a free test drive. You will be convinced to buy the car. Marketing done. Correct? That is strategy number 8. Now guys, strategy number 9. Strategy number 9 is a fantastic thing. Again, coming back to websites, it's performance metrics. Now you might say, okay, so how do I know first of all how many people come on my website? That's a very easy thing. You can find the traffic of how many people are clicking on your website. But then once they come onto your website, what else can you do? You can find out so many things about customer behavior, right? First of all, you can understand that you can understand one thing. So if 10 people came to my website, how many people are staying for what minutes of time, right? Now, I might just click on your website, I might scroll for 2 seconds and I might leave. But then maybe if I'm reading a book on your website, I might click there and I might stay there for half an hour because there's something really interesting, right? Now for all of you dear viewers who have clicked on this particular, probably you're joining from the website or a smart TV or anything. Now you've clicked here because you're interested to learn about all of these concepts, right? So, there is a way to track that as well. There is a way that says, hey, these many people joined this session and this was the average time that people stayed in the session, right? Now that's something we can track as well. Now there's something called, that's time on page. That is what is the time spent on what page or session or whatever. The second thing talks about bounce rate. Bounce rate talks about a fantastic thing. This is a very simple example of window shopping. You come onto the website, you go to Nike's website, you scroll around, you don't do anything. You're like, okay, that's a nice shoes, maybe sometime later. You close the website. That is bounce. So you're going there and you're going out. You're not doing anything, right? Window shopping, an absolute beautiful example there. The third thing is scroll depth. Scroll depth is very, very important. Now, if you guys, you tell me this, have you ever went online and you have read a blog or something like that? Because if you have read a blog, you have to scroll down to read all the text that is given there, right? So you can, the person who has written that blog can see how many people have scrolled until where. Did they just read the first para and go, or did they read the last para and they read the entire thing? So to what depth of their website did they scroll? You can see all of that. Then there's conversion rate. Conversion rate is very simple. If 10 people clicked on Amazon's website, how many people bought an item? How many people made Amazon some money that day? Right? That is conversion rate. If 10 people clicked on Amazon's site and all the 10 people purchased something and went, it means the conversion rate is 100%. But then if there are 100 people who click on the website and there's only one person who bought something and left, what is the conversion rate there? 1%, right? Because 100 people came, one person bought, the remaining 99 said we don't want something and they left, right? That's conversion rate. All right, guys, talking about the last strategy now, strategy number 10 is technical SEO. Technical SEO, again, you would have used this. I will promise you this. Whenever you go onto a website, if the website is very, very slow, are you interested? In a world where we do not have, I don't think the world has a lot of patience these days, let's be honest. If Amazon's site was very bad, if you click on amazon.in and you hit enter, if you had to wait 10 seconds, even though you have the fastest internet connection in the world, if you have to wait 10 seconds for that page to load, will you be interested, right? There's a good chance you're not. You'll be like, okay, I'll just go to Flipkart and buy something. So that is something which is very, very important here. How quickly the website loads will directly talk about customer interest. If your website is slow, trust me, people will leave. They'll be like, okay, if this website is not loading, let me go somewhere else where website loads faster. It seems very silly, it seems very stupid, but at the end of the day, this is making or breaking businesses out there. There are thousands of companies. That is why whenever someone hires a web developer or an SEO expert, they will talk about if you know technical SEO or not. Because if you can make your website load faster, it means that people will really like it as soon as they click. If your website is ready, perfect, beautiful, right? You don't have to wait 10 seconds for everything to load. This is something which is very, very important. Okay, so I have a question from Satpreet Awasthi. He says, how to track metrics? Well, good question, Satpreet. There's many ways. There's multiple tools that you can use to actually track these. Again, all of these are coming in the concept of digital marketing itself. There's a lot of digital marketing tools which will help you track all of these metrics in detail. You can see those metrics per day, per hour, per minute, per year, whatever you want. You can do it with those tools, right? You don't have to require any sort of programming. You just have to say, hey, this is my website. What is the amount of traffic I'm getting for this particular website on what day at what time? You can find out if people are clicking on your website at 10 o'clock in the morning or 12 o'clock at night, right? So based on whatever it is you're doing, you can find out when people are coming maximum to your website as well. Okay, guys, perfect. Now, before we go on to talk about, concluding this session, there is one thing that I have to talk to you about. An important point here is all of these SEO methods and strategies I gave you are legal, are ethical, and are correct to do. Now, there are some ways, there's something called as Blackhat SEO, where you can do things which are illegal to actually get to rank on Google's page. But these are short term. Don't ask me what you will have to do for Blackhat SEO. We can discuss that in some other session. But there are some things, Google, if Google has to show your website, there are certain rules there that you have to follow. If you break that rule, sometimes you will usually rank quickly and you will stay there for 1 day, 2 days, 1 week or something, and then your website is gone forever from Google, because Google realize that you're cheating and they will ban you, right? But then there are so many things that people will not know that they'll be doing wrong. They don't know that it's illegal. They'll be doing it, but they don't realize it, and then their website is banned. They'll be like, okay, why was I banned? Because you were doing things wrong, right? So for example, there are so many things you have to avoid when creating a website. Link spamming is something which is very important, right? Now if I give you a link on my website that says please click here to buy, right? But now, as soon as you click that, if it takes you to some other website and it is showing you some other nonsense, do you think that is trustable? No, right? So you should avoid that. Random content stuffing, as I told you, if someone searches for running shoes and if your website is showing me maybe flowers or something, it doesn't make sense. You have just put in random stuff there to make Google rank. Google knows this. It is intelligent. They'll say no, buy. The third thing is dubious link changes. That's the example I just gave you. You click on something that says, hey, please click here to show you like another color of the shoes. But as soon as you click it, if it takes you to some other website or something very fishy or something nonsense, you will not want to give your money there. You will not want to do anything there because you don't trust it. All of these things people don't do directly. Of course, there are some people who do directly. That's why there's an entire category called Blackhat SEO. But when people do this unknowingly and they realize that, hey, you know what, my page is not coming on Google no matter what I do, there's a good chance that they're doing some of these things wrong, which Google says, please don't do. If you do this, we will not show your content, right? So this is an important pointer, guys. Now let us quickly go on to conclude this session. To conclude this session, I have a very important thing I want to tell you guys. Now for all of you all guys, head to the comment section if you found this session interactive, if you found this session interesting and you learned a lot, right? Because I promise you one thing, if you go to Google right now and type in learn digital marketing, you will be given billions of results by the time I do that, right? So there is so much information out there. It is a good thing, but if you do not know how to use all the information that is there, it is like you being put in the middle of an ocean and asking you to swim. Can you do it? Some people will say, oh, I can swim. But if I put you in the middle of the Indian Ocean and if I say, hey, please swim back to India, I don't think it's possible for a human being to do that. That is the case here as well. So when you're learning a new concept, it is important that you guys know how to learn it. You have a map. You don't go into the middle of a forest without a map or without your GPS or something, right? So if you do that, you're lost. You will find some difficulty there and there's a good chance you might not come out of the forest because of wild animals. Right? But then if you had a map which would take you on a path or something, you could be a little safer as well. That is the reason why I say have structured learning. And whenever you are looking for structured learning, right, here at Great Learning, all of the subject matter experts here, any domain you want, data science, web development, artificial intelligence, these cloud computing domains, digital marketing, all of us, we are subject matter experts who know the industry in and out. We understand what the industry wants. That is why whenever we create these sessions, we make sure that your learning is directly aligned with what the industry wants, right? So it is very, very important. That's why I keep stressing that, guys, please subscribe, because when you subscribe, you get to talk with us experts who have been in the industry. So this ensures that, hey, what is going on in the industry now. There are so many different tools in the world of digital marketing itself. Some of them are popular, some of them are not. So what is popular in 2021? What should you learn to have a better chance to get a job? You will find that out if you're subscribed to our channel, because we will be creating content on that. And if you hit the bell icon, you'll be the first ones to see it. Right now, you guys are the gainers here. So it is very important that you guys do that. Now we have multiple places here at Great Learning where we provide free content, not only on digital marketing but on a lot of different things. If you guys are here from the first of the start of the session, you guys realize Great Learning Academy is a fantastic place to be. You have multiple career paths you can choose, 200 plus free courses that you can complete and get free certificate of completion as well. There's the Great Learning YouTube channel, and we also have Great Learning blogs that you guys can use to learn, right? So some of you people, if you love reading books, there's a good chance you'll like to read blogs about these technical domains as well. We have blogs written by subject matter experts. I highly suggest you check them out. Right, now coming to one aspect, guys, all of the free content, not just here at Great Learning, in the entire world, there's a good chance that it will get you started with the domain. It will give you a good amount of knowledge to align your learning to the domain. But if you have to become a thorough expert, when you're going from a beginner to become a thorough expert, I think it always adds value that you guys check out these specializations and post-graduation offerings, right? So again, we have multiple programs here. We have a digital marketing certificate program, a PG program in strategic digital marketing here at Great Learning that is going to add a lot of value. Let me quickly, take 1 minute of your time to show you this, and we can conclude the session, right? For example, now if I'm taking a look at digital marketing, as I showed you, right, we have many different things here. For example, let me open strategic digital marketing. This is a 6 months program, very comprehensively put together. This is where first of all you'll see so many advantages of why you should learn this particular, why you should pick up this post-graduation program. You will learn Google AdWords, Google Analytics, Facebook ads, LinkedIn marketing. So you're learning so many things. You get 1:1 mentorships. So there's, again, if you want the complete advantages of why you should pick up this program, I suggest you head to the Great Learning website. See, you will find out the advantages. You'll be given a certificate, a postgraduate program certificate, which looks like this. You can find out all the details about the curriculum. You'll have in-depth. You'll start out with learning marketing fundamentals, the framework. Then you'll learn about content marketing, paid marketing, social brand, SEO, email marketing, mobile marketing, user retention, engagement, web analytics, guys, I can go on and on, right? So if you click on that, you will find in detail what it is that you will learn as well. At the end of it, you will be given a huge project. This project is called as a capstone project, which you can use all the things that you have learned in the program to actually sit and do a project. This project, when you put it on your resume, it is going to add a lot of value. People will know that you have learned something and you have solved a real world problem using this, right? In fact, you can take a look at all the capstone projects that you will be you'll be guided through with the help of our industry experts who are here. You will have multiple faculties and mentors who are leading academicians in this field, right? So these guys are the experts at what they do. You'll be learning from them. You have mentors who will help you along the way. There are so many advantages. I highly suggest that you guys check out the Great Learning website. Just go to greatlearning.in and just search for this program. It is going to add a lot of value. If you keep scrolling, at the end of it, there's a place where you can give us your details, your name, email, mobile number, and work experience. So if any questions that you might have, right, our experts will make sure that they'll call you back in just next 4 hours to give you all the details that you're going to require about your career path, about if this program will help you, how this program will help you, and all of that. So guys, if you're looking to become experts in digital marketing, it is worth that you guys check this out. I highly suggest you do this because the experts who are there, who are guiding in the admissions office, will make sure to understand your exact requirement and then make a recommendation to you, right? Perfect, guys. Again, there's an application process that you guys have to follow as well, because this is a very popular program. There's a lot of people who want to get into it, but then to make sure we keep the quality of learning up, there has to be a screening call, and then an offer letter will be rolled out to you for all the few candidates who clear the interview process as well. Just get in touch with our experts here and they will help you out. Guys, on that note, as always, you guys are a fantastic audience to be teaching. It's always really fun to go on to teach you guys. So I hope all of you all had a lot to learn in this session. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys are checking out Great Learning Academy. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the Great Learning YouTube channel. And guys, we had a fantastic 1 hour session. If you liked everything that you saw on your screen, do take 1 second to hit that like button. It will show us a lot of support, and I hope that I would have given you a good amount of knowledge in this process, right? Guys, on that note, as always, it's a pleasure to be teaching you all. I will see you on the next one. Until then, stay safe from the pandemic. Keep your learning up, right? I'll see you on the next one, guys. Cheers. Have a fantastic Saturday ahead.